Hi there, welcome to Aaron's Wine Talk. This is wine number 25. We have a last wine for the Loire Valley wine. Remember, in the past we've been tasting wines from the Loire, starting from Nantes by the Atlantic Ocean, where we tasted a Muscadet sur Lit. It was amazing. Then we had a red wine with Chinon, with Cabernet Franc grapes, which was fantastic. And then we had also a Vouvray made with Chenin Blanc. This is another wine from the last sub-region within the Loire Valley, which is the Central Vineyards. We're talking of a small village which is called Pouilly Fume. Pouilly Fume is the name of the village in the area. It literally borders the Loire River, which is the longest river in France, literally northwest part. It goes towards the Central Vineyards, towards the Central Massif, towards the mountains. It has some altitude, up to 200 meters above sea level, in order to give good acidity to the wine. And still, these wines are so high in acidity. These wines are imported by René Muscat, yes, by Vintage & Co. He gets these wines from the Loire Valley. It seems he likes the Loire Valley styles, and beautiful style is here. Very, very complex, very high in alcohol at 14.5%. Never ever I've tasted a Pouilly Fume at 14.5%. That is really high. We're talking of a very cold climate over here. So how come the alcohol level is so high? Well, there is an answer to this question, and the basic logical answer is that this winery, Domaine du Bouchot, where the word domaine is used a lot in the Loire rather than the word chateau, it's a winery, and they all go biological. Yes, this is called biodynamic viticulture. They use literally natural fertilizers, natural manure in order to grow their grapes. No sprays are used, totally organic at its best, even much more than organic. And therefore the wine is pure, simple, refreshing, no faults within it. Yes, the soil is based on silex. So the silex soils will give that typical flinty character to the wine, that minerality, that gunflint aroma. You fire a gun, that is the aroma of the silex soils within Pouilly Fume. Argilo-calcaire, a bit clayish to give body to the wine, limestone'ish, chalk texture style, beautiful style. You've got lots of minerality and very expressive of terroir characteristics. The cool climate will help in the Loire Valley, it will help to give the high levels of acidity to the wine, together with the high altitude, we said. The alcohol definitely is coming from well-ripened grapes. So when they are ripened really well, the levels of sugars go up, so the level of alcohol will shoot up. And it's quite amazing how it doesn't burn at all at the back palate. This is vintage 2018. And therefore this is about 2 years old, and let's say that it still has another 8 to 10 years to go in the bottle. It is literally a monster of a white wine showing typically terroir characteristics. The yields are very, very low, extremely kept low, at up to 50 hectoliters per hectare, and that will enable to give top quality grapes and well ripened at its best. This wine has no oak influence. In other words, everything is stainless steel to keep the flavors of Sauvignon Blanc. This is 100% Sauvignon Blanc here in the area, and it is very expressive, where opposite Pouilly Fume there is the village of Sancerre, where that will be more fruity, more aromatic in style. Whilst here, besides the fruit character, in Pouilly Fume you will have the silex soils coming out, the gunflint aromas. Let us see if we'll find it in the wine, on the nose and the palate. So let us go for it. On the appearance, I get pale intensity, pale to medium. Yes, there's good ripened grapes, it seems. Lemon green, there's still some sign of green, and that means that that is a sign of youth. It's still very young and still can age for many years to come. On the alcohol, the legs, they are amazed on the 14.5%. They are quite long, not bad. They're quite long, Dev, and I will never say in a blind tasting that this would be a Pouilly Fume just looking at it, because normally Pouilly Fume will be on the 12.5, maximum 13, 13.5, but to imagine a 14.5, I'm literally amazed. On the nose, that minerality, ladies and gentlemen, of the Silex wines, that chalky texture coming out, that gunflint aroma is very typical of primary characteristics. Lots of primary, lemon, lime, citrusy, grapefruit aromas, a lot of grapefruit. Amazing with the grapefruit dressing in the food, in a salad. Amazing. I love that terroir smell. Herbaceous, grassy, a slight hint of aromatic elderflower, just slight, and also some gooseberry aroma, which is a type of green fruit that we evaluate in wine, and that shows it's between an apple and a pear style and the grape type of style green fruit. Lots of pears, lots of apples, green apples I get so much, Granny Smith. It shows this is a cool climate in style because the minerality comes out really well. Gunflint aromas is extremely typical of Pouilly Fume. This has secondary aromas as well of a bit of bread and biscuity, slightly brioche coming out. This is matured on the lees, just slightly with some batonnage, lee stirring in order to give texture to the wine, and it really makes it more complex. There is a bit of nuttiness coming out, and that means a bit of tertiaries coming out, meaning that this wine is complex and will keep on aging because there is signs of complexity. On the palate, that acidity level, ladies and gentlemen, it is so mineral, so gunflint, so flinty in style, wet stones, totally dry, bone dry, 3 grams, 4 grams per liter residual sugar, literally dry. Acidity is extremely high, mouth-watering, very steely, and typical of its terroir characteristics. The body is medium-bodied in style. The alcohol helps it. In fact, at the end, it's still a medium level of alcohol that I feel. I don't feel that high level of 14.5. That means that the wine is totally in balance between the fruit character and the acidity levels, together with the alcohol, obviously. Excuse me. The fruit flavors are very similar to the nose. The grapefruit comes out really, really well. Lemony acidity is beautiful. Very mouth-watering, very refreshing in style, and complex minerality coming in. Secondary aromas, definitely, of batonnage, yeast, and biscuits coming out, but not so pronounced. Literally integrated and subtle. The finish is extremely long on the palate. I feel that coming out, and it's still there, still never ending, and this means that this wine has a longer aging potential. I would say this wine is excellent, and it will keep definitely for another 6 to 8, for sure, 8 years, definitely guaranteed in the bottle. I would say that this wine would mature in mostly 12, 15 years. So from 2018, 12 years would be 2030. So another 10 years won't be a problem at all. So I do recommend from Vintage & Co. this Domaine de Bouchot, Pouilly Fume 2018 vintage, vin biologique, biodynamic viticulture. They also use the position of the stars, the planets, the moons in order to grow the grapes, and they give that certain styles. It's amazing what type of advanced viticulture this type of wine has. And that is the way forward in wine, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. Going naturally, going biodynamic, more than organic, more than in using integrated pest management techniques, something much more sustainable in style. I do recommend this Pouilly Fume. Well done, René. Totally amazing. Thank you very much. We'll go soon for wine number 26.